Hello and welcome to another Better or Worse here on my channel. Today I'm going to look at Spider-Man 2 versus The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Let's start with topic number 1, that is going to be story. The story in both of these are somewhat similar in some points. Both of the main characters are struggling with something in their lives. Both are struggling with their loved ones. And in Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire is actually struggling with... Peter Parker, sorry for that. Peter Parker is struggling with school and his work and everything else. And in Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, he's struggling with... I think it's just life lessons, something like that. When it comes to the plot lines and everything, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is overcrowded with some stories, and the Amazing Spider-Man, I think, sorry for that. And Spider-Man 2 is just a linear story, somewhat. Doesn't have that many plot lines that is crowded in this movie, which actually makes it more enjoyable in some aspects. Sometimes the Spider-Man 2 is actually feeling a little bit slower than the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but yeah. When it comes to actually the enjoyment and the actually understanding, the winner is Spider-Man 2. Topic number 2 are going to be environment and effects. The effects in both of them are amazing, and in... Wait a minute. Yeah. The effects and environments in both movies are great and somewhat amazing, but The Amazing Spider-Man 2 sometimes feels just unnecessary when it comes to what is it? Slow motions, is it? That was the word I actually wanted to say. Slow motion sometimes in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 feels really unnecessary, and sometimes it felt like they wanted to patch out the time. So otherwise it would be a tie, but because of that the winner is Spider-Man 2 when it comes to effects and environments. Topic number 3 are going to be villains. In Spider-Man 2, the main story is about Dr. Octopus being the main bad guy. Sometimes it is Peter Parker's friend Harry Osborn. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, we have basically two main villains and one side villain. We have Electro, which is the main story. You can see that on the cover there is a lot of electricity and something like that. The side bad guy is the Green Goblin, which is Harry Osborn. That is the other plot line in this movie. And the final villain that you will only see in the final parts of the movie is the Rhino. Even though you basically see only the Electro in maybe the majority of the movie, it feels overcrowded with villains. The Green Goblin you basically only see maybe 5 minutes, the Rhino 2 minutes, Electro the rest of the time. They shouldn't overcrowd the Amazing Spider-Man 2, because they should just have focused on one villain. Electro felt a little bit, what should you say, not forced, but was... Anyway, Electro, it should have just been about Electro. It felt a little bit rushed, was it? The plot felt rushed when it comes to him. The story felt rushed when it comes to him because they wanted to put in the Green Goblin as well, which also felt forced and rushed. The Rhino was forced into the movie. So the Octopus in Spider-Man 2 actually felt like they gave him a reasonable origin story, and they gave him a reasonable reason for him to actually do the bad things he actually did. And that's the reason the winner is Spider-Man 2. Because the villain actually felt like he should be there. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, all the villains in that movie actually felt rushed and forced into the movie. The final topic is the fourth one, which is going to be the main character, Spider-Man. Of course, Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2 is okay. When it comes to the drama, when it comes to Peter Parker, it is just boring. When it comes to the Spider-Man parts, it is amazing. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I actually felt a little bit more enjoyable watching Peter Parker because he actually had more comedy into him. But when it comes to Spider-Man, they forced comedy into him, which actually felt somewhat disappointing. But anyway, when it comes to Peter Parker part, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 wins, but when it comes to the Spider-Man part, Spider-Man 2 wins because he's more of a cool hero. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, they want to make him hip and everything. I don't know. Make him a comedy character. Why? But because of that, the winner, it isn't a winner, it's a tie in the topic 4. Because the main characters or heroes in both movies have their flaws and their, well, good parts. Spider-Man 2 has the Spider-Man part, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 has the Peter Parker part. So yeah. But the ultimate winner will be Spider-Man 2. The reason for that is that they have a better villain, better Spider-Man part, because it is actually a Spider-Man movie. Even though The Amazing Spider-Man had the better Peter Parker part. The environments is basically, and the effects is basically the same, but a little bit more edge into the Spider-Man 2 part, and the story doesn't feel rushed or forced in the Spider-Man 2 part, but it feels that in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So yeah, that's all for today, folks. I feel a little bit tired and sick. And yeah, that's all for today, folks. Hope next time.